Hey guys, and welcome back. Today we're going to take a look at Happyjo's blue-red midrange that was featured in the Khalim Seasonal Cup. This is based on Amoeba's blue-red Resurgence, and it's just adopted the name blue-red midrange from Happyjo. It's a few changes from the original build. It runs Ground Shakers and Cypher, and it's cut the Herald of Wars, and I believe something else as well. But the deck basically is a little greedier on the lands, but you get a big payoff in, Ground Shakers, which are fantastic cards. You also get Cypher as well, with a Banquet, could be pretty good. There's only one in this deck from the Triton Chef, but that could definitely be relevant. But it still has all the tricks of the previous build, such as Humbling Visions into a removal piece, or you have Recurring Copters combo another piece of removal, Shifting Ties to move lands around and draw cards. So it still has all its mobility tricks, but it just packs a bit greedier on the land count just for those Ground Shakers, which I think I prefer this version because Ground Shaker, what an amazing card. So let's get into some matches and see how this deck performs. Alright guys, first match here. I have been playing this deck a reasonable amount, and I really like it. It's just, it combines some of the great blue options of red, especially Humbling Visions and this card. Now we've all seen how powerful Gathering Archon is without even turning. This kind of just shows you how strong a 4/4 charger is. Doesn't even need to swallow. It can swallow and Recurring Copters. That is an option, and I have used that in the past as a way to, push extra damage, get some 4/6s down, and that has actually really worked out for me. In a game today, I had a really long match against a Dream Reaver deck. We both went into fatigue, but actually the swallow was really relevant because it moved my Recurring Copters from defensive positions into more aggressive positions. So we're going to see Axe Grinder explore Mountain. Okay, so it looks like it's... yeah, it just kind of looks like a pretty typical red build so far. So we can go Mountain here. And we can go Flame Burst and just get rid of this. So we're just trying to slow down the collection. I might double neutral next turn. I don't know. Maybe I'll Shifting Tide and then Mountain here and then collect that way. Depends what my opponent gets up to. We're both going off on different sides, but now my opponent has switched over Ground Shaker Flame Burst. No Ground Shaker Flame Burst. All right. Yeah, so we want double collection for sure. So we'll take the double collection and we'll play into the Brigand just to give us another collector on the bottom well in case this gets answered. The reason I went for double there is I get to collect an extra Faeria, but I also get to set those Axe Grinder spots, so I'm forcing my opponent to build land here. I might double neutral. No, he's not going to take it. That's so good for us. Like, we get to Axe Grinder now. So Garadan's definitely something for me to consider. But I think that's fine. Like, Garadan's not quite enough in this position. I'm going to make sure we get some, yeah, we're going to make sure we get some extra damage in as well. And push this along. Before Garadan comes down, I can smell him. So he's a very smelly guy, Garadan. When you get to 10 Fairy, he starts off this odor of free damage to the whole board. Here he is. Yep. Alright, that's fine. I'm okay with that. As long as this doesn't get Cypher's Wrath, I'm absolutely fine with that. Yep, take another 5. Now we could just aggro Mountain here and just slam a Ground Shaker down. Alternatively, I can just go Ground Shaker and then Humbling Visions, which is even probably a little bit better, actually. So we'll take the aggro land, or we'll take the Ground Shaker, and then we'll just take Visions. So look at this, a lot of pressure already. We're able to take our opponent down to 10 life. We've used one Flame Burst on this Axe Grinder that was lurking around this area, so we do have 2 in deck. We also have Cypher's Wrath as well, so we can get some additional damage that way. But this is what I like about this deck. especially the Ground Shaker version, you get some bigger bodies, so you get some real threats coming down, and it just has like really cheap, efficient creatures that can push, like Recurrent War Machines. You could, as you saw, with the mobility to get that 4 in. Then we have like Axe Grinders, 3 Faeria 5 4s, always very good. Oh, this gets to kill my Ground Shaker, unfortunately, but that's fine. Like I think I'm okay with that. We get to push another 5 damage here, and then we can just draw cards and try and find lethal. Got a layer. Could actually just stick layer here. Force the Crackthorn into it, and then we can start pushing. We can just go War Machine here instead. Because in case this gets Crackthorned again, we have a way to push that way. We could Crackthorn on this spot and then dash here if it gets cleared. I'm going to draw because we want to draw stuff like this. No, I think layer might be right, just to force my opponent to have the answer. Because something could block us in this position. But then Shifting Tide could be with a mountain and I could attack from this angle. It's a tough one. Well, we'll take it in 5, that's for sure. Yeah, let's just go for the Recurrent. Because if we collect off the well, it just gives us a bit more Faeria to work with on the follow-up. Now, there might be Guidance in this deck, I don't know. So Guidance could be an issue. My opponent can collect into Crackthorn now. But if my opponent does decide to do that, he probably wants to hit this first with this Crackthorn, and then Crackthorn across here. I think that's what we're going to see. Oh no, it's a layer. Okay. Oh, there is healing. Alright, I didn't expect healing, actually. It's a little unfortunate. A little unfortunate, that. Okay. Cypher. I wish we'd drawn that. I could +1 into it. Huh, okay. I feel like I layer anyway because I need the Faeria. It just doesn't kill this. That's my issue. Do I wait? I think I can wait now. It's just because my opponent has healed with the Guidance. So I should be able to just wait and slam Cypher down here and then have Cypher take care of this. Although I would like... I don't know, I would like to set up 2 creatures potentially so I can hit this and then push for 5. This is here. Is it going to Crackthorn to my face now? No, Sagami Warrior. Okay. So very unfortunate that all the heals came out because we were playing very aggressive.
There can be
I will take +1 this turn. Because next turn, if this doesn't get powered up, I can cop to Cypher's Raffet and then just clear the statue. And it gives us a collector down here. It gives us something to defend with on the follow-up. I'm going to take the damage. So there's no Crackthorn this turn. We know that. My biggest fear is Grappling Hook. Just another Sagami. It's fine. Grappling Hook's a big problem from here. Doesn't collect. Okay. I'm gonna kill this. Copter here. I'm going to Cypher's Wrath this one. Because it represents collection. So my opponent could land here, move back and collect. We do have lethal in hand. So we can find lethal this turn, it is possible. It just depends if my opponent slams down anything here. But if it doesn't have enough life to survive from Cypher, Cypher's just going to get bigger and bigger and become a problem. Wood Elemental. Is that it? I wonder if my opponent's playing around Grappling Hook by not collecting off this well. That's what I'm curious about, because he missed a collection last turn. So while I'm afraid of Grappling Hook, my opponent could be playing around Grappling Hook. Oh, another heal. Feels bad, man. Yeah, again, he just doesn't move. So interesting. Okay. Take the 5, go for the Axe Grinder. Do we have lethal again? We had 2 guidance come down, but lethal's still available. Grappling Hook's fine as long as he doesn't have a creature to play. Double Flame Burst is not enough. What's happening next? What is this card? It is a Stalker. Cypher's Wrath. No, another Stalker. So that's going to be lethal with the double Flame Burst in hand. Can collect. But doesn't. For whatever reason. But yeah, there we go. Lethal. Feels good, guys. And then we have it, game number 1 in the bag. It looked a little hairy once the guidance came down and the layer, but I was fortunate enough to have enough gas to keep pushing through. But good game to my opponent. It's gone to another one. Alright, guys. Another match. Did well at the start. Let's keep it going. So Axe Grinder, great start for us. We also have the Recon War Machine as well as an option. I feel like actually I just go down the opposite side here. Yeah, and we just push out that way. Force our opponent to come and match us because we have taken a more aggressive land placement with the Explore, so we can actually get up here a lot quicker than our opponent can get down here, unless we see a lot of double neutrals. So this is red-yellow events by the looks of it. Big fan of that archetype. I'm going to push this across, and we are going to play the War Machine because now we're playing against red-yellow events. This could get Flame Burst, Cypher's Wrath Soul Drain, double Cypher's Wrath, double Soul Drain. So many different removal combinations available because I don't know exactly what's being played. This could be red-yellow Angry, is a potential. It's not a deck we see a lot of, but you know, it is something to consider. But I think this is a much more defensive setup. So red-yellow events is my guess so far. So yeah, I feel actually we can just Mountain here. We can Mountain and push up. We're probably not going to get into this spot, so I've kind of accepted that. I'll take a Mountain because we can't double collect anyway because of the War Machine. It was in this position, not in this position. So we can just take Mountain here next turn and go from there. Fire Elemental. So this must be Angry then. Oh, okay. Wasn't expecting an Angry variant, I must be honest. But now we have Garadan. Like, Garadan's nuts here. Oh, maybe not. Maybe we don't have Garadan. Oh, he was thinking about it. Getting that removal going. I'm gonna go for an aggressive Garadan here. I represent 10 damage next turn. So we can take our last lake in this spot, shimmy up here, lake across, bam bam, 10 damage. Can our opponent deal with that? Gonna find out. Wind Soldier? Outland Ranger? No? Okay. So killing Garadan.
Let's explode.
That's a pretty expensive clear. So I'm okay with that. I think I'm just gonna move back into double collection though. I don't really want to fall behind on Faeria. +1. Cause we can just Grind Shaker, which is pretty good. Yeah, cause we can go here now. And then we can Grind Shaker. And then we can just +1. So now we can start winning the economy race. We're double collecting on the right hand side, and then we have the aggressive mountain, which is giving us an avenue of attack. So we're forcing our opponent to be defensive. You know, now like hate seeding to the side. Does it come across and clear this somehow? Does it collect? Looks like it's going for the old collection, which is fine. I can actually banquet across and kill this if I want, which is also very good. And putting Triton Chef here allows the Recurring War Machine to play more aggressive, which is also very good. Oh, it's going to be a Firebringer. Okay. So unfortunately, I can't take the Banquet line along with, say, a Recurring Copter. So we're going to take 5. Unless, actually, I think what's even better is we Flame Burst this. We can kill this guy. Move this up aggressive. And then go for a Brigand. And +1. So we're just applying pressure. Now I was looking at I was looking to preserve my Ground Shaker, but it actually answered the Firebringer quite clean. And the Flame Burst opened up a clear on the Hate Seed, so I'm just limiting my opponent's resources, and that's really good for us. And now we get to go in. Just generate a lot of Faeria. We can go for a Collector down here in the Triton Chef. And then we can pass. So now we have access to Humbling Vision's Recurcopter. That can kill a Hate Seed. It's pretty decent. It's an 8 Faeria clear, but it's a lot of pressure.
Let's explode together.
Bomb Slinger just dies to Humbling Visions now. Brigand's going to just start generating value, so we can start drawing cards. We're gaining Faeria from the Triton Chef, but we're also gaining Faeria from the Brigand. I thought this was event. Well, it could... No, it's not events, it's angry, isn't it? Because I thought it was events because of the Outland Ranger. But now we've seen Hate Seed and Firebringers, you know, we now know this is an angry red-yellow. Like, 100%. So yeah, this is just amazing. I'll even take a draw, because if I pick up Cypher's Wrath, I can keep the Humbling Visions. So yeah, we can just... Do we dash it? I'm not sure. I think so. I think we can actually draw, I guess. In case we find Cypher's Wrath. Then again, if I play these two, that's going to be 8 Faeria. I'll have 1 left and I can hit. So I'm not even going to be able to play this anyway. So I think we just take the draw for Cypher's Wrath. Didn't find it. Okay. So I'm actually going to leave this here. Because I want to represent 5 damage next turn. Actually, even more than that. If I throw the Banquet into the mix as well, I represent 6 damage just on board, and then I have 3 damage in hand. So it could be a Cypher's Wrath or a Flame Burst away from lethal. Okay, let's take a draw. I could swallow that. That just represents lethal on its own. But there we go. Another win in the bag. Like, this deck can apply a lot of pressure quite early. Once you start getting to this region of the map with your special lands, that's when things get a bit hairy for these... Well, I wouldn't even say this was a slow deck. It kind of... I forced the deck to switch sides, which slowed things down and accelerated my, like, pressure and aggression. But yeah, that's what this is where the deck shines. Kind of when you get around this region, you start to really cause problems for Concoctors, Ground Shakers, you know, spot removal from hand, and you get to apply a lot of pressure with Axe Grinders, Brigands, and these Recurrent War Machines. It's a good game to my opponent there. Let's move on to another. Alright guys, another game. Things are going very well for us so far. Not as quick of a hand as we have before. We've had Axe Grinders available. I think I'm just gonna mulligan all of this. Try and find an Axe Grinder. Didn't find one, but I did pick up the War Machine. That's pretty good, so we'll take a lake to start things off. Debate our opponent thinking we're blue, and then we'll take the Mountain and the War Machine then. Oh my goodness, what's going on? It's gonna be a Water Elemental from my opponent. So blue now, so my opponent now has a quicker start for me than me. This way, so I don't know, do I shift to the other side? I think now I've picked up this, I can shift to the other side. I think that works out just fine. Because I can shift and tide this across, double neutral up and double collect, especially if this goes across to the left and nothing is played on this tile. And then I'm like one land away from Recurrent Copter and one land away from Humbling Visions. Now it's going to be green-blue. Animated Banquet. Pop across, swallow it up, and then we have a 4/4. Alright. Ah, see, Flamebirds would have lined up perfectly. Feels bad, guys. But we are going to play a little more aggressive. We want to make sure, I want to make sure I can push for damage next turn, or at least represent it. Right, because my opponent had the Water Elemental start. This way I'm saying, look, 4 damage is coming to you up next turn. What are you going to do about it? This can move down to double collection. That's fine. I'm going to see Battletoads, okay. So our good old friend Recurrent Copter can help us out here. It's a shame I can't kill both of them. This is where Shift and Tide would have been great as well, because I could have mounted, Shift and Tide it across, and Recurrent Copter in between. But Recurrent Copter's fine here. Like, it's gonna help us out. We'll take the 4. Yeah. So we're going in here. I want to apply pressure. I'm actually just Flame Burst this. Because I force my opponent to have something on board to answer. We're actually a land away from Frog Tosser. So this might give me the opportunity to represent 7 damage next turn. And then I can just play, hopefully, an Axe Grinder. Like, get a Mountain here into Axe Grinder, into Lake. And then I have my Humbling Visions online in 2 turns. And I have a more aggressive threats coming down. And that's one of the things you have to do with mid-range. You have to kind of assess, like, when can you be aggressive? And for me, I just felt like, you know what? 7 damage is pretty good. Like, you could say, keep the Flame Burst for face later on. But by Flame Bursting this, I have an opportunity to push 4 damage if this doesn't get answered, and an additional 3. So it kind of works out fine. My opponent does have a lot of Faeria to work with, just not at the sweet spot, not at the Frog Tosser range yet. Which is pretty important. Cypher's Wrath picked up. We can keep this humble. I think Humbling Visions on this is fine, actually. Just humble this. Then we can Cypher's Wrath it. Maybe once... no, the Banquet's probably going to get swallowed anyway, so let's Cypher's Wrath this. Look at that, 7 life remaining already. And we just took the aggressive Lake here, and this was more or less to set the Humbling Visions, but also block land development into these wells. So I'm just trying to secure this spot for Axe Grinder. My opponent has a lot of Faeria to work with, and now we're in Frog Tosser range. We'll have to see what happens. We could see like Humbling Visions, clear, Frog Tosser this. I'm on 0 Faeria. There's a little... Maybe I shouldn't have Cypher's Raft actually. And then kept the Faeria for the Recoing Copter in case this got Frog Tossered. I would have 2 Faeria, so I could have mounted here into the Recoing Copter. So actually, yeah, I don't think I should have Cypher's Raft this. Now that I look at it, I should have thought about that a bit more before I made the play. This is just Elderwood Embrace. Could be Frog Tosser, Elderwood, Frog Tosser, Gift. If there's no Frog Tosser, I'm in a very good position because this gets to push 3 damage next turn. It is Frog Tosser, of course it is. So yeah, no, so I didn't play around the Frog Tosser very well there. Frogify. So we need another turn now to start rebuilding. Which is a little unfortunate. I will take my X-Grinder land now and I'm just gonna pass. So if I didn't Cypher's Wrath, the Water Elemental would have cleared, this Banquet would have popped out, and then this would have swallowed it. And I would have been able to Recoing Copter this turn, and I would still have Cypher's Wrath available. So I could have... Well, yeah, I could have Recoing Coptered this, and then Cypher's Wrath this on the follow-up. So that's a Tide Lord? Yeah, it's looking like a Tide Lord to me. Yeah. Okay, my opponent's playing very defensive. Going for economy. We're starting to get locked out of the game. And it does come down to that Cypher's Wrath play. That was definitely a misplay. Grand gets a pretty good follow-up. It gets to push 1 damage. We get to clear this guy. I don't want to play it anywhere near these cards, if I'm honest. So I think I'm just going to Ground Shaker here instead. It's in a more defensive position to cover this land spots. So now we just need 2 Flame Bursts. We did Flame Burst something, the Frog here, beforehand. So we only have 1 Flame Burst left in deck and we have 21 cards remaining. So I'd be very lucky to draw the Flame Burst. If I do draw it, I just draw like a god and I can't help it. It's going to be another Frogify. And clear that guy out. So Quad Collection is now a thing. Draw. If I play Brigand, this comes down and clears it. Gives me 2 Faeria back, and then I can +1 Ground Shake and kill 2 frogs. Although he might just take... No, we can't do that, because that hand's got enough attack. So we're hoping that this Triton Tactician goes here, clears this guy out, and then we can Ground Shake it back in this position again. We deal another damage, and then we're only Cypher's Wrath Flame Burst away from lethal. Is that another Tide Lord? Another Tide Lord's pretty scary. Yeah. Represents 12. Going to the follow-up. Water Elemental. This is not good. This is close. I don't quite have enough Faeria right now. The only advantage is, let's say this Tide Lord jumps and clears this, and he pushes 6 and moves this down, but doesn't play any other creatures that can represent lethal. I can just Cypher's Wrath this. So I'll have 10 life remaining. So basically what I need going forward is that a creature with 3 attack at most can come down at this point. That's all I can do. Oh no, well that's actually okay. That's actually okay. That's not so much okay. So this is actually a problem now. Ah, the banquet feels bad. Feels bad. So this represents lethal. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I definitely misplayed, which is what led to this match being a loss. But I almost got out of it. The banquet saved my opponent there. I guess he could have drawn like Aurora maybe, or maybe even a power up. My only hope there was drawing another Cypher's Wrath, because then I could have +1'd into double Cyphers. I can't even copter. Like it doesn't even make a difference. X grinder. Yeah, well played there. So yeah, a misstep from me. Also a little bit of bad. I can't say it was bad luck. I drew the Cypher's Wrath and the Ground Shaker, so I did draw the damage, but didn't quite have enough to close that match out. A little unfortunate there. But hey, it happens. Let's move on to another game. Alright guys, another match here. Didn't go so well last time, but, you know, I'm still optimistic about this deck. I made a mistake, and it did cost me. But that's one of the most important things about playing card games, especially, is learning from your mistakes, because hopefully won't do it again. That's the goal, right? Never do it again. Once a mistake has been made, no more mistakes. Now, sometimes you may repeat it again, but as long as you keep learning, as long as you keep saying to yourself, "Nope, I'm not going to do that again," you'll be in a good spot. So we have a very similar opening to last time. Again, this Recon War Machine. We don't have the Shifting Tide this time, but we do represent double collection after another land, and we can either switch on the Humbling Visions or we can switch on the Cypher's Wrath. It's going to be a Triton Warrior into a Banquet. So we're going to Humbling Visions this preemptively. We do get blown out by Aurora, but oh, actually, we could just Flame Burst Cyphers it. I don't know. I'd rather save the Cyphers for the Banquet if I can. So yeah, let's just Humbling Visions this preemptively. So like I said, Aurora's a blowout here for me. I can still answer it quite well. I still have like Cypher's Wrath into a Brigand follow-up, which is okay. But at least I'm forcing my opponent to have it. That's what's important. This little frog's gonna jump back, get into safety. Into a trainer. Okay. So we take a mountain. We're going to Cypher's Wrath this now, because it represents killing my Resurgence War Machine, and then we can set up a Brigand behind. We still have this Flame Burst for the Banquet if we get a chance to clear it. I think we're in a pretty good spot. Even Aurora's not that great here. It's going to run away. Tide Lord. Okay. Oh, he's a big Tide Lord. Okay, Flame Burst lines up nice here. Good Flame Burst for sure. It's a shame we can't Ground Shaker as well. But I'm happy with this. We set up the Axe Grinder land. We kind of set up for lands now as well, but we can also stick Ground Shakers here. Double neutral, collect. So we can double Ground Shaker in the future. Triton Trainer into a Banquet. So we get to clear this with a Ground Shaker. And open up this. Could take a draw first. Layer. Okay. We can do it this way. And then Axe Grinder into this position. So representing 5 damage to the orb next turn. We have a follow-up Ground Shaker to finish this off, which is going to work out quite nice for us. Because we stopped the double collection at least. We don't stop all the collection. The banker will still be able to collect off this well. Looking Glass Fan. Okay. And then this swallows. It becomes a 4/6. It actually pushes it 1 out of reach. On paper at least. That's fine. We get to answer this. So we get to, oh wow. So we get to double neutral. Giving us our 5 damage. Collect off this well. Take a hit. Take a Ground Shaker. So we do set up tri-collection going forward, but I represent lethal with these 2 cards. And forcing my opponent to have answers. Like, if my opponent wants to interact with this, it's probably going to have to use the Banquet. So I don't have to worry too much about the collection. Does take it. So we might see, like, Beirut come down. Maybe a Beirut. Beirut's not too bad if I draw Humbling Visions. I can answer it pretty well. So it's a 4/3. Gonna kill the... Okay. Kills the Axe Grinder. Maybe passes? Moves back. Plays another Triton. This is gonna swallow up. So quad collection is now a thing. Let's take a draw. I want to draw a burst. So we have Humbling. Axe Grinder. So we're just going for the lethal now. We're just pushing. That's what this deck tends to do. Or that's how I like to play it. I like to push a lot of damage in like the mid game, like the start of the mid game, and then just like tunnel vision lethal. Oh, it's a tail. Might be able to generate some value off this. So it's Tail of the Tritons. It's gonna just block me. Aurora?
Would you like some tea?
That's a little risky. I'm like a Cypher's Wrath away from lethal. Or a Cohen Copter. It doesn't really matter. I have a way to find her. But there we go, another win in the bag. No mistakes made this time as far as I can tell. You never know really. And we jump back up to rank 29. I really like this deck. It's a very cool mid-range deck. It's quite unique for Red-Blue, because Red-Blue has always been the Gem Shell deck, or the Ice Rock Behemoth deck. So it's actually cool to see Red-Blue being a mid-range archetype as well. But cool, yeah, we take another win. Let's get into our final match. Alright guys, final match. What can we do against Boom? Can we sneak in another win? Can we go 4-1? Went 4-1 last time. It would be pretty consistent. Get the Axe Grinder start on turn 1. That's great. We can start collecting nice and early. Go Lake. Probably like Lake Mountain. I like having mountains here, because we can play the Rakoan War Machines here anyway. Oh, it's the Angry deck. So this is actually quite a different matchup now, because my opponent doesn't have to build to the opposite side. So I think this is like a fairer representation of the matchup, based on me going first. Like if my opponent built down this side instead with the Fire Elemental, I'd still go up this side and ignore this and try and race. I don't know if that'd be correct or not, because it is angry, so there's a lot of high attack creatures available. But that would definitely be my game plan. So it takes the mountain there. So we can go Lake. We can shifty our friend here. And +1, so we're actually going to play this behind because we run into Bomb Slinger. And the reason I moved this here instead of moving this here is to open up the opportunity to get the Axe Grinder spot myself. Because I could, if my opponent goes Mountain here or Desert here or whatever, I can just move and then take Mountain here, and that gives me the Axe Grinder spot for the future. Playing this here plays around Bomb Slinger because my opponent could +1 into Bomb Slinger to kill this. I think he's going to double removal it. Maybe like double Ciphers, maybe +1 Flame Burst Ciphers. I'm fine with that, as long as I draw another creature. I'm fine with it as long as I draw another creature. Because then I retain initiative because I'll be able to play something. Goes for a Fire Elemental. To Desert. Now, see now I'm thinking, do I just +1? I could double neutral across, I guess, instead, and just give up this. I didn't expect another Fire Elemental. Oh, as I say, I could have expected it. He does run it, but that's not what I was hoping for. I'm thinking of actually double neutral here. Just leaving this in this position. And then I could, like, aggressive mounting Garadan if he plays anything with free life. Which is my hope. So my opponent just drops another free life or less creature. I get some value out of Garadan and put in a really aggressive position. Because even if my opponent lands here, I can still mountain in this spot. And then Garadan has a lot of coverage. Oh, Horsemaster. As one of these, this is already a weird game. I must admit, it's an odd one. Why not? This is so interesting when this happens. Like, I'm ahead in Faeria. Essentially, because I go into 8 Faeria next turn, my opponent starts on 5. My opponent can gain initiative back now. But I'm just curious if he lands again, because he needs to double neutral across. Or I just take Mountain here. Yeah, it's such an interesting position to be in. Because now I have a double collector. My opponent has a double collector. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know if I'm going to win this now, because I've played, like, silly land placement games. I have Flame Burst. I can finish this off. I might just wait, though, and just gear up for a Garadan. If I draw Axe Grinder, I'll move here and mount an Axe Grinder. Is he going to double Flame Burst my Grand Shaker? Would you be so cruel? Oh, no, going aggressive. Firebringer. See, this is why I feel that I'm not in that good of a position anymore. I should have probably just fought around here, but I don't know. What was I doing? Just being silly. If I lake and I double collect, I might be able to Garadan Flame Burst this on the follow-up. Yeah, I go up to 3, I double collect, +1 Garadan Flame Burst, kill this. If another Firebringer comes down, I just lose. But I'm willing to roll the dice here. I decided to go for silly double neutrals. Just slowed down my deck so much. I just wouldn't recommend doing this at all. It's just not worth it. I don't even know why I did it. It was just like a natural reaction to this aggressive desert. I couldn't help it. That's the thing. Couldn't be helped. Oh, this is actually a big problem now because he's covering my land. Yeah. Yeah, that's not good. Stepping on my mountains. So I can humble in this, I guess, and wait a turn? This doesn't feel good, though. That's the problem. It just doesn't feel good at all. Take a draw? Another humbling? No. I think this is lost. I'm not optimistic at all. Not my best episode. I've had some good games, but I've had some bad games. This is one of my bad games for sure. Actually, I feel that the match I misplayed with the Cypher's Wrath, that was kind of more trial and error. I kind of rushed to it too quickly because I thought of the Frog Tosser repercussions after. I didn't really think about this. I was just like, yeah, let's just follow these neutrals. I could have just mounted here. Just been fine. Wind Soldier. Wind Soldier? Ranger? Campfire. Yeah, it gave me my mountain back. Feels good, guys. I got it back. It's a very curious line. So I might need this for another Firebringer in the future. I know there's Horsemaster. So I'm probably going to have to Humble Envisions this, actually. Because I know there's Horsemaster, and Horsemaster's potentially lethal with a Flame Burst or something. Or maybe I do just keep a hold of this. Actually, we can do this instead. So we just Gyarados here. And this gears up for Grand Shaker next turn, so if my opponent plays Firebringer, at least I have the option of going for the Humbling Vision on it. Electric Eel. Oh, okay, didn't expect that. So now I have Grand Shaker Flame Burst. Which is pretty good. Not all is lost, guys! I thought I was losing, but one Gyarados later, I'm in a good spot. And even if a Firebringer comes down, I get the Humbling Visions it. Double collect and try collecting. I'm back! I'm back in the game! Do I deserve to be there? Probably not. But I'll take it. Oh, he hates it. The hate seed. I am going to build a defensive land. So he's taking the defensive land as well. So yeah, we're going to be switching things up. So I'll collect here. I'm going to sit on this. I'll take another defensive land. Then I'm going to go into Cypher.
There can be only one.
So now the Gyarados is my pusher. And these two are my defenders. And with the Humbling Visions, like Humbling, another thing as well, which I like about Cypher in this build, is Humbling Vision just interacts with it so well. It's these two are just best friends. Because you can bring those big creatures down to size, hit them, and you gain attack equal to their base attack and life. So say there was a Faeria Golem, and then you Humbling Vision to Faeria Golem, hit it with Cypher, you'll gain 5-10 back. You're going to lose, what, 3 damage of that life, so you'll gain like 5-7 back? Pretty good. Like, it's pretty good. Outland Ranger says hello. Campfire. Okay. And a pest. This turned into a very strange game. Do I take a draw, or do I just take +1? I think I can take a draw. I don't plan on playing anything this turn. But I can gear up for like Recurrent Copter removal next turn. I want to be able to Recurrent Copter these two, but also kill this. So I want to find another piece of removal, like another Cypher's Wrath, or maybe another Ground Shaker. I've had 2 already, so I can't ask for too much. And I need to keep these Humbling Visions for the big Firebringers. There's 2 left that I know of. Oh, this is awkward. No good Recurrent Copter. Well, that works. He's on his way. He's marching up. I guess I can Flame Burst this. And then Recurrence. That's a 10 Faeria play. It's pretty expensive. But I think it's worth it. Because Garadan once again sets up to deal some damage. Get to collect anyway. I can set this up for double collection. So I represent quad collection next turn. That's pretty good. My opponent can now Bomb Slinger this and then hit in, but I don't think I'm too bothered about that. Because there's still this as a problem. This double collects for me, so this now has the opportunity to be aggressive. I can double collect on this side potentially. And then Ground Shaker gets to happily sit on this mountain and stop any Firebringers showing up. Unwanted Firebringers. Nine Faeria to work with, potentially 10. What's the play? There must be a Bomb Slinger somewhere in that hand, lurking, waiting for the opportunity. It's a Thunder Eel. Okay, so that does the same thing. Into an Outland Ranger. +1 Campfire the Outland Ranger. Okay. Into another Hate Seed. Feels bad. So I can Humble in this. I think that's what I'm going to do. I know I wanted to save for the Firebringer, but I'd rather starve my opponent of Faeria. And we can stick this into double collection. So it's still representing tri-collection. Our opponent only collects off one well. I believe that's the last hate seed. I can +1 bomb slinger now and kill this. Which is okay, I guess. He's done his job, Garadan. He's double collected a few times. He killed a load of dudes. This guy double collected. This only collected one, so this is actually a good trade for me. Unless he bomb slingers this to preserve his collector. Wind Soldier on the Garadan. Okay. Oh, I'm in such a weird position. I don't know. It's just kind of funny. Maybe I try and bait out the Firebringer by doing this. Because I can Banquet this Ground Shaker and it can jump here, then I can aggressive land and then start playing some stuff that can represent damage to the orb. If a Firebringer doesn't show up. So I'm kind of hoping a Firebringer doesn't show up in some ways because then I can make that line. I'm not sure where Firebringer's at right now. We're going to find out. That's why I played the Brigand. Just extra backup, just in case I needed him. He's pretty big. Okay, he is pretty big, but we have enough to deal with him. +1. There's the visions. Bring him down a notch. Okay. This might seem a little odd, but I do need this to happen to protect my lair. Because lair is now my answer to the last Firebringer, since I'd used my other Humbler Vision earlier. And I made land, so I couldn't... So does it get bomb slingered? No bomb slinger on this. Don't want that to happen. The layer is just going to sit here. I maybe should have axe grinded in this position. So we're going to be cheeky next turn if this lives. We're going to move here. Shift and tide this away, and then mountain, and then axe grinder. That bomb slinger? It is a bomb slinger, but I'm not falling for it. I think there's another bomb slinger. There must be another bomb slinger lurking. It's gonna be a pest. Okay. So I think this is gonna get Horsemaster to kill Leia, so I'm gonna play a blocker. I actually think I'm fine with a draw. Just give me some more gas. Yeah. So Axe Grinder's job here is to block the Horsemaster. And then Brigand's going to clean up the Bomb Slinger, gain some Faeria back. Actually pretty fine on Faeria. Faeria's not an issue. So it does go for the Bomb Slinger here.
Let's explode together.
Goes into double collection. So now Leia is safe. Or as safe as she can be. So we can Horsemaster here and kill any threat that shows up. And then this could step across and kill Leia. So I'm gonna land. Play the Brigand and then play the Rakoan. So I'm just playing around I don't think there's any damage from hand. I don't think there's any flame bursts in this deck, so I think I can take 4, and that's fine. Because now he might forget I have a banquet. Horsemaster. Kills the brigand. Oh, this actually might be too much for me. I don't know. Maybe I was just delaying the inevitable all this time. Yeah, now I can't use shifting tides. Dun dun dun! Recurring copter. Feels good, guys. When you think it's all over, and then you top deck Recurring Copter. Let's go. This has been a strange match. One of the more interesting ones, I guess, for me. Things have not gone according to plan. I went for some interesting land placement. Another bomb slinger. Come on, man.
Let's explode together.
So is it the Fatigue Wars? The Fatigue Wars have started. The last bomb slinger. Defensive Firebringer. Just you wait. Firebringer comes down here. And I'll regret moving this layer. Yep, I regret it already. He's a big boy. I shouldn't have moved layer. That was really bad. And now I'm just drawing shifting tides. Ah, this is sad. I should have thought about this. Don't need Faeria. It's not needed. Jump here. Shift, shift. Hit for 6. Start moving layer across. Why not? Why not? I don't win this race currently, unless I have a flame burst that I don't know about. I have 2 cards left in deck. He does make the land. Kills my poor, poor ground shaker. Did nothing wrong. Innocent. Thunder Eel. Zaps him. Oh! Da, da, da. That might just give me what I need to win the race now. Because my opponent fatigues before I do? I don't know. Wait, let's work it out. So, I draw my last card, my opponent takes 1, then I take 1, and my opponent takes 2, then I take 2, leave me 1, 2, and my opponent takes 3, and then my opponent loses. There's only Horse Masters left. I don't know. I don't know. I'm scared of this card. It could get down here. Could just Horse Master here and zip down and clear, and then this isn't taunting. So maybe this is a bad. Ah, see, I'm just misplaying all over the place. This is a Horse Master, isn't it? Ah, what am I doing? This has been an episode of misplays, guys. It's not relevant. Like, this works. It does work. This is my last card. Oh, I shouldn't have moved Lair. So a lot of missteps for me this game. Let me show my inexperience with the deck. Does collect. Just plays a guy. So if this was here, I'd probably win, right? Because he just gets taunted up. Oh, no. Take one. Opponent takes two. Hits into this. Can't play another card because it's locked in. Passes. Takes three. Yeah, well played there. Well played. So missteps from me led to a loss. Shouldn't have moved that layer. Feels bad. Feels bad, guys, but it happens. You know, mistakes can be made. I learned a lot from this episode. I learned more about this deck, but also about positioning. Mainly positioning. But good game to my opponent. Got his revenge on me. Yep, that wraps up this episode. So an unfortunate turn of events for me in some of those games, but like I said, I learned a lot myself. I don't play a lot of mid-range anymore. As you guys probably know, I do play a lot of control decks. But it was nice to play something different. And also this Blue-Red Resurgence has kind of caught my eye since the Khalim's Seasonal Cup. Because I'd seen the list on the hub, and it doing pretty well in the opens, but I'd never seen it played competitively, and I was very impressed with how Happyjo piloted it. So, cool deck, Amoeba. Like, I really like it. It's nice to see Blue-Red have another archetype, and I look forward to see how it gets expanded upon in the future. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, drop a subscribe to keep up to date when our content goes live. You can check out another deck from the Seasonal Cup. We have Light Sapphire's Tail of the Tritons. I actually played against it in this episode. It was the 3rd or 4th Blue Jump match. But yeah, that deck is available for you guys to watch. Very strong build. Very different to what you're used to with Blue Jump. So be sure to give that a look at. And also my blue-green ramp. Ramp is back, and I think this deck is really strong. Had a great performance with it. So be sure to check that out as well. So until next time, guys, take care and enjoy Happyjo's Blue-Red Midrange.